So today, right now at this point, this is a really exciting video for so many reasons, but number one, we are transitioning from working on the slam box, on the cab, front end, and all of that stuff that we have been giving so much attention to now starting to focus on the utility box bed in the rear. I know some people like this, some people don't, and that's the best type of thing to have on a vehicle, something that not everybody's gonna agree with, and I cannot wait to get started.
And now, you're watching the Wheezy F Baby, and the F is for Welcome channel of YouTube. Welcome to BodeVision.
Hey, so what is up, and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me yet again on another video. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I need to do, these utility bed boxes, right when I got them, they were so heavy I could not remove them from the truck. So me and my father, we cut out the bed completely, leaving us with two boxes. Now these two boxes are going to have to be cut drastically in order to make them fit with the wheel and with this frame. Now keep in mind, all this stuff that I'm doing is extremely different from the original design of this bed, but from the outside, it's going to look exactly like it has always looked, or like it would look on any work truck that you see. So let's get those pulled over here. Then I'm gonna wanna get them cleaned up. I'm gonna wanna pressure wash them, make sure they're clean. I don't like to start getting into something without it being at least a little bit sanitary, because I don't wanna be dealing with the dirt the entire time. So let's go ahead and make that happen. So now that we got the boxes looking pretty good and brought into the shop, as you saw, we made a whole bunch of measurements and I had to do a whole bunch of math. One thing that I'd always recommend, if you don't have an area that you can write on with a marker, whether it's a whiteboard, or I just like to write on my desk and then I clean it off with some lacquer thinner, and that works really nicely for me because there's all kinds of things as you're building whatever you're building. You have to draw it out, write down measurements, find your center point, divide it by 2, or take your full width, divide it in half, so that way you have some to tack onto this side, some to tack onto that side, in order to keep it all consistent, because we needed to figure out where these cuts needed to be made. And now that they are actually drawn out, let's go ahead and get it cut out, torn out, and then I want to place these boxes on the bed for the first time and see if we cut out enough. And if we didn't, we'll have to just cut a little bit more. But the goal is to cut enough on the first time. Measure as many times as you need, cut it once. That's the best way to do it. So as you can see, man, we got plenty of room, so our math was correct. The way that I like to look at it, if I have to reconstruct something, I would rather overcut it just a little bit rather than taking your time, to whittle it where it's going to be the perfect size, because that just takes a long time. So give yourself a little bit of extra room. You got to build it back anyways. So an inch here or there to make the project go that much quicker, I would take that any day of the week. So now what I want to do, now that we know it fits, I got to take the boxes off the truck again and start cutting out panels to start filling in the gaps, because everything that I cut out now has to be filled, so that way when you open the doors it's still a nice clean sealed cubby. It would be so janky if you just opened the door and then saw the floor. That's not at all how I want to do things. So over here I got my 16 gauge sheet metal. A lot of the times I work with 18 gauge, but for something like this I wanted 16. Number one, because it's going to help me stay straight as I'm cutting all of it, and as I'm rebuilding it, it's not going to be so loose and floppy. And number two, we need to add some rigidity back to these boxes. But before we move on with those panels, I need to clean this up a little bit and give me something clean to work off of. So I'm going to go ahead and take a 1.5 by 1.5 steel tubing, square tubing actually. That's going to be where my bed is going to sit, and that's where I'm going to build off of for my sheet metal. So I want to get that tube welded in, then we can go to those sheet metal pieces. Alright, so really quickly, with the way these boxes are set up, we have the fuel filler right here, but this fuel filler is on the wrong side that the tank is on, and I had to make a decision as far as, based on measurements, what exactly I wanted to do for the box. So as you can see, this is not centered. There is a lot larger of a distance from where the wheel well starts from here to there, and then from here to there. Now I know the doors are supposed to be one way, and obviously the tail lights are supposed to be one way. The tail lights are in the back, but the way that I'm looking at it is what's going to be the path of least resistance as far as the least amount of work to make it look as good as possible. So this bed is going to be sitting backwards. You might not have ever realized that if you took a look at it, but either way, when I was doing a lot of research, I see that people have done that before, and I would rather have the doors swinging towards the front as opposed to recutting and reworking and rebuilding, basically building the box. So measurement wise, everything makes sense to make it run it this way. Now I was thinking about swapping this panel to that panel, but still, it just, the only way that it works the best, and it works perfect, if we run it backwards. So either way, like I was saying about the fuel filler, this is not on the correct side anymore. So I'm going to cut it out right here, and this is ultimately just a flat piece of sheet metal. So once I cut this out, I just have to make a patch, and then this is going to go on the other side, and I think that I want to put it in one of the bins, so that way you don't see it at all, but I still want to have a nice filler location so that way it makes sense. So what I'm going for, when you open up this side door, you're going to see a wheel tub and then the fuel filler right next to it on the driver's side. The passenger side, when you open this door, you're just going to see a nice clean wheel tub. So let's get this cut out so we can put a piece of sheet metal here as we're doing all of the sheet metal work and just keep it rolling. Let's get that cut. Man, so all right, so we're starting to see everything come together, take shape a little bit. You can really get an idea of everything that's going on. And dude, check out this side, how absolutely dumped we are. I mean, the side of the top of the fender isn't even a foot off the ground. So we are tucking bottom lug nuts. How sick is that? So I got the fuel door in here pretty much figured out. Now in the Lincoln Town Car, this was set up to sit at a little bit of an angle because the body shape was kind of coming back and around. So this is going to have to sit at a little bit of an angle as well. But I'm just going to go ahead and plate this off, block that. And we also have a problem. You can see in this bin, we got the tire. I don't want to have that because I don't want all kinds of, you know, road debris and water flying in there. So the answer for that, or the solution for that, is I have another trailer fender right here. This is the exact same type of trailer fender that I used for the front. I just cut it down a little bit, but we still have this opening. So as you just saw, I was working on these little inserts. I'm gonna go ahead, put some bead rolls on there just so it looks real nice. And the reason why I only have the pattern part of the way up is because everything down here is below the door. So if you can see, we're kind of, you know, doing something like this, something along those lines. Man, will you just look at that? How good does that look? How good is this thing coming along? Now, as the videos progress, I'm going to get a lot more into what exactly my plan is with the bumper, how I'm going to be attaching this to the frame to still be removable, like any of these utility beds would have been from the factory. But at this point, I need to go get some more gas for my welder, so I'm going to call it for this one. We made a lot of really good progress. On the next ones, we are going to be making so much more. So let me know what you think about this, man. Really cool. really good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.